Hello there, Bick Benedict here. We're playing Uncharted 3 Remastered on Brutal difficulty. This is my guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Chapter 8 of 22. It is entitled The Citadel. So this is one of those chapters that can utterly devour you if you go in unprepared. And I'm here to hopefully prevent that from happening. Now, we've got a situation in this first room where enemies are semi-aggroed. That is to say, they don't really know where you are. They're semi-alert, and they're kind of trying to figure out, where exactly you are. They're sort of halfway between semi-aggroed and completely aggroed. But they don't know where you are. That's the good thing at first. So there are two guys on the ground floor level, and then there's three guys on the second floor level. The level that we're going to land on right now is level 3. There's nobody on this level. What we're going to first of all do is do a drop attack on this guy over here. Watch as the pirate's body posture changes as you're hovering over an enemy that you can fall on. Now, you only want to fall on the guy that we just fell on when this guy makes a move. So if you rewind the footage, I only press circle to drop on that first target when the guy moved. So once he makes his move, go after him. Now there's two guys down here, and they're going to be hiding behind these display cases. They can be on either side of the room, so you've just got to look out for them. So always look for. I mention it time and time again. Just look for the change in your character's body posture, because it will indicate exactly when that you can do a takedown. So this is the remaining third guy on the second floor. I've always found it difficult to take him out without alerting the guys on the ground floor, so I save this guy for last. So I go up here and I just bum rush him. This is constituted as stealth as long as you don't fail any of the attacks. Like if he goes to attack you and you fail to counterattack, then enemies will definitely be alerted to you. But notice that I did do my jump for joy. The jump for joy is a series of 3 jumps that I do when I'm particularly happy at what I've done. And I've been doing it throughout the course of the Uncharted guides that I've been doing. Also, the second guy that I killed, it was a punching match. So a couple of those instances of taking those thugs out, they were punching matches. The game just wouldn't, I wasn't in the correct position to break their necks, in a very swift manner. So it does count as a stealth takedown. Again, providing that you don't fail on anything. Now, I have to apologize because there's a lot of times when my arrogance definitely shows, and I try to not foster egoism as much as I possibly can, because it's not healthy and it makes you look really bad. I was both arrogant and presumptive the last time I did this guide. And what I mean by that is there is a section coming up, and hopefully this part doesn't need too much explanation. There's just 3 guys over here, and they're very easy to kill. But the last time I did this project, the stealth section that was coming up, that follows this part over here. At the end of it, I said that's as clean as I believe you can do it, or something like that's as clean as you can do it, pretty much. And it wasn't clean at all. I fired my gun, things almost got out of control, and it was, I can't believe I'm so presumptive at times. It's just, where do I get the gall to say shit like that? And I'm sorry, I really am, because it's not right. You shouldn't presume that you know anything about perfection or anything like that. But anyway, now Sully's going to let you out of this room. We're going to meet up with our comrades. We're going to be getting a couple of new guns, And now I will admit that this next part that's coming up, I did do it as cleanly as I possibly could. It's, you know, there's no such thing as perfection, but it's much cleaner than before. No gun usage happened, and you know, nobody was alerted. So I just want to make that clear. So anyway, you're gonna get a checkpoint over here. Once you break free of the checkpoint, don't forget to pick up the guns that are behind you. I know it could be a real hassle. I wish you could just pick, like, I wish you could just pick the guns you want in a certain location and just save your loadout. Would be really helpful over here. But like I say, don't forget to get these weapons. It's a Gmaul that I always privately think of as calling it a Gmail. You know, like the email service. And there's also a Magnum over there. So now that you've got your goods, come on over here, and we're gonna do an aerial takedown on this guy over here. Now there's let me see. There's a total of 5 guys. No, I'm sorry. There's 6 guys. I was looking at. I had some notes I was using. But we've taken out 2 guys, right? And then here's the next guy. Just take him out real quick. Sometimes he veers a little over to the left, and you have to either do a fist fight with him, or sometimes the whole grabbing of him can be corrected just by the game's own natural finesse. Now, we've taken out, you know, a trio of guys. There's going to be there's 3 more guys left, plus there's 2 guys at the end who do not separate from one another. Now, the thing you need to do when you jump over this wall, don't jump over it on any uneven parts or you'll fall down. You don't die, but you'll fall down and you'll mess everything up. So the next thing we have to do is take care of this guy, just yank him off, and then we're going to be coming up here. Because what we want is we want that pair of guys to come out here and not see anything disrupted, because if they see any bodies around, they're going to start getting, you know, upset. They're gonna, you know, it's gonna break our stride. So here is the last guy. Now there is a gun down here that they may have seen, but I don't think they pay any attention to that. So so now you're going to see flashlights coming down the hall over here. I think you can sneak past them, but I don't know about if your teammates could. So what's going to happen is these guys are going to come to a stop right about where we are, and since things look pretty clean to them, they're not going to react in any bad way. I'm going to jump up here, kick him, and then do a punching match with the last bitch over here. Put him down. And now he dropped a grenade. I'm not sure if that's a reward for doing the room as clearly as one could. I think it might be, but I don't want to sound like, you know, like I'm getting a bunch of good presents when you guys might not get anything, you know. Maybe it's just a gift he always drops. So yeah, the last 2 guys, it's important to instantly kill that first guy. You might also be able to sneak up directly behind him, melee attack him, and then go after the second guy with attacks. I'm not sure if more guys get spawned into the fight, but you know, why take your chances? Okay, now we're heading up into this circular room. There are enemies on either side of the room, and I'm always confused about rooms like this because I never know if the game is going to penalize me too heavily for doing melee combat, as opposed to, for instance, shooting guys in the face with a sawed-off shotgun, as happened right there. Do note that there's a brute. I'm not going to talk about the brute too much because we have a potentially difficult scene. Now there is a Rafika pistol down here if you want to take to the wall hanging section. You get an infinite amount of ammo. It's a consideration that the game will not give you on the ship when you're doing the wall hanging section, which is much harder. So we do have the Magnum, and even if you do not have the Magnum, you're not going to be in a disadvantageous place. Trust me. Just because I have the Magnum, it doesn't mean that you're in for, you know, a world of hurt over here. Now, the main thing about this is that you need to be quick to kill this guy, and then once he's dead, you've pretty much won. So once he's dead, aim your gun reticle right where he was, pretty much in the center, and the second guy appears, shoot him, and then when this guy's falling, you want to aim right over here to the left, and then the second you see this guy, put a bullet right into him, and then start your ascension. You want to put the cover to the right of you up here, pause for a moment to make sure that you're completely in cover, and then proceed to the left. Now, I cannot guarantee that you won't get shot there. You can if you want to when you're taking shelter from the enemies with the cover to your right. If you want to, you can use a grenade. Because you can toss grenades there. You can throw a grenade and stagger them so that when you go left, you will not get any hazard befalling you. It's something you can do if you want to, but I just wanted to show you that you can get by there without using a grenade. Now you've got a surprise for you. Once you open this door, you got a brute gunning for your ass. So make sure that you parry this bitch the second he tries to strong arm you. And then we're going to hopefully lay down the law with this guy. And these brutes, they're always one and the same. All you're doing is mashing circle there and parrying at the proper time. The only thing I really object to about the brutes, did you see that head bash? Sometimes it lets you parry and sometimes it just doesn't. So it's just one of those random things. The combat is emphasized more than on the other titles, but you know, it was and never will be perfect. But I just wanted to mention on that wall hanging section, we did have a Magnum. Correct me if I'm wrong. We were killing guys in one shot. So if you have a Rafika pistol, it's the same strategy. Just get on them the second that they spawn. It's going to take one or two more shots, which in the Rafika's case just means one or two more bursts because it's a weapon that shoots in bursts. I just have horrendous memories of the Rafika. That's why I avoided taking it to that wall hanging section. Now when we get to the ship and we have Hell on Earth to do, you do not get infinite ammo. If you run out of ammunition on that wall that we were just at, they refill you, like I said. So by that logic, I do assume that they would refill your Magnum ammunition too, if we were to have run out in some instance. But as you saw, we only needed 3 bullets, and we came there with more than twice that amount. So yeah, the wall hanging section is something that people struggle on. I struggle on it myself too. But I need to really caution you guys about the save feature in this game, because it completely screwed me up on this stealth section that's coming up. There's going to be a stealth section which the game promotes as stealth, and if you fail near the end, the game is going to auto save and force you into a huge gunfight. Now, there's nothing wrong with huge gunfights, but it's a waste of ammunition. It can be a drain on your time, and if you could just get through a section quietly, as the game wants you to do, you're going to be in for a little bit more of a gentler ride on Chapter 8. This is not an easy chapter by any means. So the thing about it is, what happened to me is, I saved my game because I'm no fool. I've gone through Chapter 8 on brutal difficulty before. I know exactly what I needed to do. I saved my game right before the stealth section. I got seen. It auto-saved me. So then I loaded up my save file, and no problem whatsoever. And then I redid the section, and I got through the stealth section, I believe. It wasn't that anything bad happened. I wanted to redo it. I was trying to find the best path for you guys, because the path I used last time, I wanted to use this opportunity to refine it a little bit. So what ended up happening is that no, regardless of the fact that I had saved my data, here's what happened. I saved my data, got to an undesirable state of circumstances, reloaded my data, and it was all fine. They started me right before the cell section, and then I got seen again, or something bad happened, and then the game auto-saved over that. So then when I tried to reload the data that I presumed that I had, it no longer existed. So we're talking about having to resave it every time in the event that something bad happens. It's completely screwed up. Now you might say, well, you're a fool. You didn't reload, you didn't resave your data. Well, I saved it once. That should be plenty of times to save something. It overwrites it. It's horrible. So I'm telling you guys, you've got to be really careful with the save feature on this game because it can screw you up badly. So this is the path that I chose to do now. I'm going to do some good old American weapon switching over here for myself. I'm going to switch out the Magnum for the Para, and that's going to give us 75 rounds. And then the second target that I'm going to take out is going to be this guy up here. Now, there's one problem about this whole thing, and there's one guy that can cause you problems. And it's not going to be this guy. It's going to be, I believe, the next guy we go for. So this is the section. Now, you can get through this entire part and not get the prompt to press triangle at the end where the broom closet is, because what's happening is that they're loading in extra enemies on the assumption that you failed it for some reason. So if you get there at the end and you can't press triangle, it's because they've spawned more agents who have, for some miraculous way, saw you. So it's just ridiculous. Now this guy, his placement over here, he's usually closer to the stairs than he is now. Now the guy that's going to see you is the guy that we're going to kill at the end, because everybody else is beneath us. So you need to see, everything pretty much hinges on the guy that we just killed. That's who would always see me. And now we've just got a couple guys left before we get up to that closet. Now, I don't know why sometimes the game breaks near the end, but there's only 2 enemies left now. But I've done this I'm telling you, pretty much exactly as I've shown you over here, demonstrated it pretty much kill for kill, movement for movement, pretty much as that's possible. I got to the broom closet, it wouldn't give me triangle. I saw another enemy spawn in an aggroed state, and then I knew, oh well, I there must have been an extra guy somewhere that I didn't kill. It just sometimes there is. And once that happens, the game is already auto-saving your game, and you can be screwed. So, you know what? I think the way to not have that happen is to not try to kill the last guy anywhere on the stairs that we just ascended to get up to this closet. Make sure he's down below when you kill him. I believe that's how to take care of that problem. I just remember that. Make sure that he comes down the stairs that we just ascended, and is just nowhere near this platform or the stairs that you used to come up or down. Okay, I believe that's what's going to save you. It's ridiculous. The stealth, I'm not asking for anything spectacular. I don't care much for stuff as it is. I'm just trying to have it be the least amount of being broken as possible. And anyway, that's potentially going to cause you a lot of problems, because if anyone sees you, they spawn you at a random spot. You've got heavies to deal with. You've got you've just got a lot of things that you have to kill, and it really isn't anything new if you are familiar with Uncharted's bigger battles. But why go through the hassle? If you can do well on this fight. Now, you want to roll down here once Sully has somehow Sully has obtained a grenade launcher. I'm not sure how that happened. I'm glad he did. I'm going to hang off here, shoot this propane tank, stagger the enemies. Now, this guy is somehow incendiary. I'm not sure. He must have had a grenade in his pocket or something on his belt. I'm not sure. But that first part, you need to wait until Sully has destroyed part of that Citadel across the way before you start rolling. And even then, you're probably going to get unlucky a lot of times. Now, the safest position to be is over here. Now, there is a heavy winding his goddamn horn across the area that we just crossed to get over here. Sometimes he will jump through the broken part of the castle to the right. So and sometimes he can actually just fall through the hole in the floor that we used to get down here too. So I've had the heavy come over to the right. Sometimes he comes through over here. Sometimes he just gets killed by Sully and all the other goings on. But this is pretty. And you know those color splashes that are sometimes appearing on the screen. You know that the purple and blue and the different colors. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's somehow the Elgato software that I'm using to record this struggling to interpret all the colors or something like that. I'm not sure exactly what it is. But anyway, once Sully destroys that last part of the castle, then you can move up. And we've got some dialogue to do. So, yeah. Not an easy chapter by any means, but you can make it much harder for yourself by doing the wrong thing. And, how do you know what the wrong thing is when you're going through this on your first campaign and you're not aware of all these things? Because, hell, I was just screwed over by that whole save feature. I had to thank the Lord Jesus. Get the fuck out of my way. Shit, these AI make you look at this shit. Get the fuck out of my goddamn fucking way. I'm the player. Move out of my way. That's all I ask. That is all I ask. I'm sorry, guys, but you sometimes bounce off these AI companions and shit. It's just frustrating as hell. Same with this, waiting this out, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. We've got a Cutter boss fight starting at the beginning of the next fight. I think Cutter is voiced by the voice actor who did Dante in Dante's Inferno. So we're definitely amongst royalty. So that game's spectacular. But that's what this walkthrough is for. A lot of the times it's a walkthrough is for forewarnings. And obviously a person can get to a walkthrough too late. What I would recommend is that you watch the video before you even start your chapter, your foray into these chapters. I'm only saying that about Uncharted 3. Uncharted 2, you could restart on Brutal without any problems. I don't know why it's like this, that you can't restart a chapter on a difficulty that you haven't beaten. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I'm really upset. It's causing a huge amount of inconvenience for me. And, it probably compromised my not getting the trophy last time too. I don't know how, but I don't want to just cast aspersions on it like that. You never know, because for some reason I didn't get the trophy last time either for Uncharted 2, and it has a find chapter select menu. So who knows? At least we got the chapter for Uncharted 2. We're on a roll, and we're just going to keep rolling our way through this spectacular game. And I'm going to see you guys in Chapter 9. We're going to be doing the Charlie Cutter boss fight, so get ready for some boss fight action. Thank you very much for watching Chapter 8. It was entitled The Citadel. I will see you in Chapter 9. Take care.